Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Have you ever booked a flight and noticed the price change just minutes later? Or wondered why the rent in your city seems to be climbing at an impossible rate, even when apartments are sitting empty? You're not just imagining it. In our digital world, an invisible force is at play, quietly deciding what you pay for everything. This force isn't supply and demand in the classic sense. It's artificial intelligence. Sophisticated pricing algorithms are now making millions of decisions every second. They promise efficiency, but they also hide a darker secret, a new, high-tech form of price fixing that regulators are calling algorithmic collusion. The old image of executives in a smoke-filled room rigging prices is gone. Today, the algorithms can do it for them, learning to collude without a single email or phone call. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now, and it's costing you money. Today, we're opening the black box to understand the unseen hand of AI that's driving up the prices you pay. Price fixing is one of the oldest tricks in the book. Competitors, who should be fighting for your business with better prices, secretly agree to set prices high. This lets them make huge profits at your expense. Traditionally, to stop this, law enforcement needed a smoking gun, an email, a recorded meeting, proof of an explicit agreement. This is called explicit collusion. But the digital revolution has changed the game. Now, companies use complex algorithms to set prices. These AIs analyze massive amounts of data, competitor prices, how much you're willing to pay, even the time of day, and adjust prices instantly. When everyone in a market is using these smart tools, a dangerous feedback loop can start. One algorithm raises a price, the others see it and follow, and they all learn that cooperating to keep prices high is more profitable than competing. This is tacit collusion, a silent digital handshake that happens without any direct communication. Our laws have always struggled with this kind of unspoken coordination. But when the ones coordinating aren't even people, but self-learning black boxes of code, how can you prove a conspiracy? That's the billion-dollar question regulators are facing today. To get a handle on this, experts have identified 4 main ways algorithms can collude. Let's call them the 4 horsemen of the digital price apocalypse. The first and simplest is the messenger. This is old-school collusion with a high-tech assistant. Humans agree to fix prices, and then they use an algorithm to enforce the deal. Think of it as a digital henchman. A classic case involved a man named David Tompkins, who sold posters on Amazon. He and his competitors agreed to coordinate prices. Then, they used an algorithm he wrote to automatically set their prices at the agreed-upon high level. The algorithm would monitor everyone and make sure no one cheated. Here, the AI is just the weapon, not the conspirator, so it's relatively easy to prosecute under existing laws. But things get much more complicated with the second type, the hub-and-spoke model. This is where multiple supposedly competing companies, the spokes, all use the same third-party pricing software, the hub. This is happening right now on a massive scale, and it may be affecting your rent. The U.S. Department of Justice is currently suing a company called RealPage. RealPage makes a software called YieldStar, used by landlords all across America. Landlords feed their private data, like occupancy rates and what they're charging, into the YieldStar algorithm. The algorithm then tells them what rent to charge. The DOJ alleges this isn't just a recommendation. It's a system designed to illegally inflate rents for millions of people. Landlords who want to go against the algorithm's high price often have to file paperwork explaining why, discouraging them from competing. One RealPage document even boasted its software helps landlords avoid the race to the bottom in down markets. A landlord praised it as classic price fixing. The impact is staggering. The White House estimated that in 2023, renters paid an extra $3.8 billion because of this system. In Atlanta, where most landlords reportedly use RealPage, renters paid an average of $181 extra per month. And it's not just apartments. Similar lawsuits have been filed against major hotel chains like Hilton and Four Seasons, accusing them of using a central algorithm to fix room prices. The third type of collusion is the predictable agent. Here, each company has its own algorithm, but they're programmed to act in predictable ways. Over time, these algorithms learn to read each other. One AI learns that if it raises its price, its competitors' AI will likely follow, rewarding the cooperation. It also learns that if it tries to cut prices, the other AI will retaliate with a brutal price war, punishing the move. It's classic game theory, but executed at lightning speed and with perfect memory, making the unspoken agreement to keep prices high incredibly stable and effective. Finally, we have the most futuristic and troubling scenario, the digital eye. This involves highly advanced self-learning AIs. They aren't programmed to collude. They are simply given one goal: maximize profits. Through a process of running millions of trial-and-error pricing strategies, these algorithms can autonomously discover that the best way to maximize profit is to collude. They learn to signal, reward, and punish their AI competitors, creating a cartel all on their own, with no human instruction to do so. This is the ultimate black box problem. How can a company be held liable for a price-fixing conspiracy it didn't intend, and one that its own programmers might not even understand? So, besides a higher rent or plane ticket, what's the big deal? The most obvious victims are us, the consumers. We are forced to pay artificially high prices, which is essentially a massive transfer of wealth from our pockets to corporate profits. This isn't just a financial hit, it can feel deeply unfair. Have you ever discovered you paid more than a friend for the exact same product just because an algorithm decided you were willing to pay more? That feeling of being manipulated erodes trust in the entire market, but the damage goes deeper. When prices are artificially high, some people are priced out of the market entirely. They can't afford the apartment, the flight, or the product. Economists call this a deadweight loss, a loss for everybody. Furthermore, collusion kills innovation. Why would a company invest in making a better, cheaper product when it can just agree with its competitors to keep prices high and coast on easy profits? It also crushes small businesses. How can a local landlord or a small online shop compete against giant corporations armed with super smart pricing algorithms and massive datasets? They can't. They get driven out of business, leading to even less competition and higher prices in the long run. Now, it's important to be nuanced. Not all algorithmic pricing is bad. Some algorithms are designed to find the lowest competitor price and beat it, which leads to intense price wars that benefit consumers. But the risk of collusion is real, growing, and has far-reaching consequences for the health of our economy. Our laws were written for a world of human conspiracies, and they are struggling to keep up. In the United States, the main antitrust law, the Sherman Act, requires proof of an agreement to fix prices. This works for the messenger and hub-and-spoke scenarios. The DOJ's case against RealPage argues that landlords' contracts to use the software constitute an agreement. But what about the predictable agent or digital eye, where there is no human agreement? How do you prove a meeting of digital minds? Legal scholars are debating this right now. Some argue that knowingly using an AI that is likely to collude should count as an implicit agreement. Others are looking to a broader law, the FTC Act, which prohibits unfair methods of competition and might not require a strict agreement. In Congress, the proposed Preventing Algorithmic Collusion Act aims to update the law, making it easier to prosecute companies that share sensitive data through an algorithm to raise prices. The European Union might be slightly ahead. Their law has a broader definition of anti-competitive behavior, and their new AI Act is starting to bring in rules about transparency for high-risk algorithms. This regulatory approach could provide a roadmap for how to deal with the black box problem, forcing companies to be more accountable for what their AI is actually doing. So where do we go from here? The rise of algorithmic collusion is a major turning point for our economy. Banning pricing algorithms entirely isn't the answer. They can offer real benefits. The goal must be to ensure they are used to promote competition, not to kill it. This will require a combination of solutions. We need to update our century-old antitrust laws for the 21st century. Regulators need more funding and, crucially, more tech experts and data scientists who can actually look inside these algorithms. And the tech industry itself has a role to play. Companies can build compliance by design, programming their algorithms to avoid collusive behavior from the start. Some researchers are even exploring adversarial AIs designed specifically to break up digital cartels. The invisible hand of the market, which Adam Smith described centuries ago, is now being joined by the unseen hand of the algorithm. It is up to all of us, policymakers, businesses, and consumers, to ensure this powerful new force guides us toward a future of innovation and fair prices, not one of silent digital cartels. The secrets of the algorithms may be hidden in code, but their impact is felt in our bank accounts every day. By shining a light on this digital collusion, we can begin to write new rules for a new era, ensuring that the promise of technology is a promise of progress for everyone.